today here with me I have a very esteemed guest. Her name is Sofia Abdulkadir, and she's the founder of The Greatness Show. Welcome, Sofia.
Thank you, Akhlid.
Okay, so just to start off the interview, tell us a bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school?
Okay. Thank you for inviting me to this podcast first. I grew up here in Addis. Up until the age of 14, I was here. And then I moved to Holland.
Wow,
And I went to school for high school and university over there.
Oh,
And then I came back.
that's great. So is there anything you learned different from there? What was different moving there?
I was 14, so I actually missed my parents a lot, my friends a lot. I don't think it's a good age to move away from what you know, so I don't think it was a good time for me in a way. If I was at this age, then I would have had a different experience probably. So what I remember is that I missed them so much.
Oh, interesting. So where did you go to school in Holland?
In Holland,
Yeah.
I was in Den Haag, so it's called the European University.
Okay.
It's an international school, and I studied business administration for 3 years, and had my bachelor's and came back.
Oh, interesting. So do you think your life path contributed to who you are today? Going to Holland and having different experiences?
Yeah, it was expected that I was going to become a doctor.
Okay.
As you know, most parents, they like you to, that's what they consider as a success. So because I was a grade A student, they were expecting me to be either a doctor or I had the grades.
Yeah.
But by the time I joined the university, I saw that I didn't know what I wanted, even though I was a good student. So I chose business because it allowed for different experiences. You can manage different sectors. Yeah. So, but I didn't know exactly which business I wanted to join. So I think moving there, it's a different culture, a bit more relaxed in a way. So I think that really contributed, of course.
Okay, so tell me, how did the Greatness Show come about? You are a business administration graduate,
Yes.
and then now you have a Greatness Show. So how did this come about?
Exactly what I just said, because in school, even though it was in Europe and it's considered the best school even for that country, I really didn't know which direction I wanted to take. And you can learn a specific subject, but it doesn't mean it tells you how what to become, what your talents are, what your passions are. Those questions are not entertained.
Yes.
So by the time I finished, I actually felt like I was just starting.
Oh.
And so I moved back here. My parents are in business, and I'm the eldest of 5. So it was expected that I would take over the business. But still, and even though I came with a business administration degree, I didn't know myself. So that question led me into personal development sector. So I started reading books and taking online courses, listening to different podcasts, of course, from different teachers, and I saw that we don't have that here. We don't have books on success. We don't have books on how to find your passion, your own talents, your own unique self.
Yeah.
So the name Greatness came from that. I felt that each of us have something individually unique, and if you can cultivate that and build up on that, then I think you can be successful. So through that, it came to be that I started a radio program on Afro FM, just like that. The manager at the time was really kind to me. He knew that I didn't know anything about radio, but he knew that I had something I wanted to share. So he said, come over, and he gave me a 1-hour program, and it started like that.
Wow, that's amazing. But it's not always easy as you talk about it. So what were the challenges that you have faced during having your own show and going to Holland at 14 is a very young age.
Yes.
I myself was out of the country at not a very young age, but I would say I was also young. I was 19. So how did that affect you?
Yeah. Like the challenges are many in different aspects, because when you're young, you want to be successful and you're expected to be successful right away, once upon finishing school, but that's not reality. It takes time. It takes you need to develop your skills and who you are, and so many things have to come into play, and you have to know what success is for you. We all have different definitions of what success is, and moving there and coming back, people would say, why are you back? Why are you here? And I didn't have an answer for it at the time. But looking back now, I know that I wanted to create something of my own. That was the first thing. I felt I wouldn't be able to do that easily over there. One of the reasons. And the other challenges, as we said, being young and moving away from what you know, and it's an age where you're trying to find yourself. You're a teenager at the time, so that is a challenge. And starting a show, something like this, on personal development, it's very new. We're talking about 2013.
Wow.
That's when I started the Greatness Show on Afro FM. So you can imagine people didn't know, they're not familiar with such kind of topics. So even greatness, what is it? That question by itself took, I think, about a year to even explain. Not to them only, because I started the show for myself.
Yeah.
Because as I was exploring, we were exploring this questions together.
Yeah.
So I think that took time.
So what would you say the lessons that were learned through your challenges and through your life path? You can just say 2 lessons that you learned.
Believing in yourself, first thing, even though you can't see it, you can't see the whole picture, you can't see the whole journey, but trusting that it will get clear in time. That's one lesson. The other thing is, I think, you will come to your own eventually. The other lesson probably is that there are a lot of good people that are willing to help and share and support you, and even if you don't see it, they will see it for you. So I learned that by giving, they gave me their time, their knowledge, just their energy. And I'm at a point right now where I am able to do the same for young people. I have a separate platform. It's called Greatness Youth Network. So we just, we have classes on Zoom weekly for kids, aged 19 to 25. So they ask the same questions that I asked years back.
Yeah.
So that's the other lesson. There are a lot of good people.
Wow, that's amazing. So having a very good support system is very essential to succeed as well.
Very important.
Yeah. So on another note, to ask you, there's this president's initiative having mentors and coaching for women.
Yes.
So can you tell us more about that and how you're involved?
Yes. So I was selected as one of the mentors and coaches for 50 young females who are in school. They're in university, most of them. And they're just, as we said, they have so many questions, they have so many, challenges that they're navigating. So they chose us to help them. So I became one of the coaches.
Oh, that's amazing. Is there anything you want to add before we close off? Anything you want to share to our audience?
Yeah, for young people, I would like to say they need commitment to see success eventually. It's not easy always, and if they focus, then it will come true. They just have to believe and wait.
So believing and patience.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sofia, for coming and for joining our podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you had a great time.